to finally be able to talk with you face to face. Yes, I know. With our schedules and everything, it's just kind of easier to talk like this with you being in New York and yeah, exactly, and I'm in LA. It's just like a lot easier like this. And it's so nice to meet you, Travis. Yeah, I've heard a lot about you, obviously. Yeah, I just wanted to say congratulations to the both of you. I'm so happy for you guys and so excited. And I think I told you that I am such a big fan. But honestly, outside of being a fan, I'm just so honored that you guys would choose to work with me and collaborate on your big day. So that is just so awesome. And yeah, I know we've been talking a lot over text and phone calls, so I know once we can finally like meet in person and really like nail down a lot of the details we've been hashing out, things will feel so much better and like really grounded. But I think a Zoom call is a good idea for now. Yeah, so I'm not sure how much you've told him and like what you've conveyed to him about our conversations and stuff, but I have like a huge list of everything we've kind of talked about and like some of my own ideas, things that I think would be great just on like the vision that you've like told me that you have in mind and what's important to both of you for the day. And I know this is like kind of our official conversation, but these are just like preliminary things. I'm kind of neurotic, so I'm going to be taking notes like with my pen here. Also like laptop, Taylor, you know, it just depends like what I think is best. But honestly, I'll run through what I think and then you can tell me anything else that's come up for you, like in the last, I don't remember when was the last time we actually spoke, like over the phone, but anything that that's come up for you. I know we have our shared note. This is like, I haven't been putting anything in that shared note because I don't want to overwhelm you. So these are just things that I've been keeping separate from that. So I know that I know that the engagement was beautiful, by the way. Travis, you did such a great job. It was so like dreamy and such a fairy tale type of vibe. And Taylor, you said that you kind of wanted to keep that same element going through the wedding and sort of into the reception. I know you discussed with me a little bit of like a ball, like glamorous type of ball for the reception. I think that's excellent. It's perfect. I will say that I know we haven't like exactly nailed down a venue yet. We have a few ideas in mind, and that's what we were going to discuss today. With that being in mind, like the dreamy fairy tale look, were you leaning towards like an enchanted forest type of venue? I have here like seaside, like ocean, beach. A library could be beautiful. I love that. That's really in. I mean, it's not like new. I mean, people do it all the time, but it could be very, very romantic. And I know that you are a reader, Taylor, and I'm not so sure about you, Travis, if you read. Okay. So that could honestly be beautiful, breathtaking, and it is very romantic and very, in a way, very fairy tale like. So and then we could go with the stereotypical castle fairy tale vibe. So you just let me know, and then I think by the end of this call we should have like a few actual like addresses of places that we want to, or that I guess I and my team will contact for, let me put that in here, in the coming weeks. So if you want to, so you're nixing the beach idea, and I think that's good because while a beach can be like romantic and fairy tale like, it's kind of hard to nail down. Yeah. So, okay. And we don't have to have the actual locations now. We have a while, like by the end of the call, I'm saying, a while throughout this call. And then we could do, I know that we could do like an English countryside, like a manor, and with the ivy and all of that, and like the rolling hills, that can be beautiful. So there are so many options, and I'm sure with both of your guys' like extensive travels that you guys have places in mind. So yeah, just mull it over throughout the call, and then at the end we'll put it in and we'll get going. I will get going on contacting those places. Okay, and then as we move into the venue and we're talking about that guest list, are we thinking huge wedding? Or I guess I should say, are we thinking big ceremony, big reception, small ceremony, big reception? Like, where are we feeling with that? I know you guys both have very large friend groups and people that are very important to you, big families. So how are we feeling about that? And don't feel shy. Any number is okay. Yeah, so tell me. Okay. I'm good. 1 second. Okay, that is a huge range. Okay. Okay, we can do that. Okay, that seems doable. So I'm sending out invitations to about 200 people and expecting, and is that including plus ones? So 200 people, and that includes their plus ones. I mean, that's a pretty decent size wedding. It's not as large as I was actually expecting for you two, so that's good. And then I think this should be a different conversation because it is very important. And I think right now we're kind of working through like the fun aspect of this, but like security and how we want that to go for the day of. And it's something that we cannot just like, I think it needs to be a separate conversation, right? Yes, okay. But you guys have people that I expect that you trust and that you want there on that day. Okay. We'll talk about that. Okay, so here I just kind of. Okay, so Taylor or Travis, sorry, I should say, how involved were you expecting, or at least, yeah, wanting to be with the planning? Because, okay, cool. So you want to be involved. Okay, so do you have any idea of like decor or flowers? Because it is September and you guys were thinking about this time next year, so we want to get like a good idea about the type of flowers you want, decor, candles, all those types of things, china, glassware, all of that. And I'm talking about the date because when it comes to like sourcing florals, we need to know what kind of florals you had in mind. I know that at the engagement, yeah, I loved the roses you had there. That was beautiful. The garden was gorgeous. Okay, so you're thinking you want to keep something like that. Lots of roses, greenery, ivy. I'm loving this because I feel like a lot of brides these days are shifting away from that, like, and I don't want to say this and it sound bad because it's not. This was what you're going for, was a big look back in like 2015, 2016, and now it's not very popular. And because of that, I think it's going to look great. Everyone these days is kind of doing like the lilies and like standalone flowers where it's just like they might be holding like one lily and it's less colorful in terms of florals. And that is fun. That looks good, but I think there's something to be said about like sticking to your personality and doing less of a trendy wedding. Okay, were you guys thinking about, for the ceremony, were you thinking about vows? Were you gonna do your vows in front of everyone, not do vows, just like the standard vows? How is that gonna go? Okay, yeah, and I think that's honestly, let me put that down. For a couple of your magnitude, I think, even though the people there that will be there will be friends and family, I honestly think that's the best bet, is to keep it private. And I know the concern might be that could take away from the romance and like the intimacy of the wedding, but I honestly think it might even add to it because it's personal and you want to keep it that way. So yeah, no, I think that's fine. That's fine, honestly. Okay, I was honestly thinking lots and lots of candles. There's this venue here in California that I love, and I know we are not doing a place in California. I know that was like off the board, like non-negotiable, but it's called Hartley Botanica, and it's beautiful. And whenever my brides do a wedding there, I love it so much because of the like hanging trees. And actually, let me, 1 second, I'm going to, yeah, do you see that? It's gorgeous, and the way like the trees like light up, it reminds me of Bella's wedding from Twilight. So I know you're not going for that vibe, but I think we should try to incorporate the lighting within the nature aspect of whatever venue we choose. Exactly. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that idea. Okay, so you want to do something where you want, and have you sourced something like that? If not, I definitely have someone who can do that. A runner. You want like the runner to have lyrics down the side. That is so beautiful. Okay, so a runner where there's lyrics down the side of the runner. That's gonna be gorgeous and such an Easter egg moment. Do you know what song you want to do? Do you want to do one of your own songs? Okay, I love that. I love that so much. Okay, and I have to ask, are you thinking of incorporating any other, like, I know this, we've discussed this is not a wedding for the fans, and I really appreciate that. But a lot of your friends are fans in the sense that they really appreciate what you do and they recognize that. So were you thinking of incorporating like more personal touches, like from your career, from both of your guys' careers? Yes. Okay. I'm very happy about that because I've brainstormed some ideas like that as well. Okay, and so when it comes to the reception, were you thinking more of like an intimate dinner or like a dance party type of vibe? Okay, big dance party. Love that. And I think that is what I was expecting from you too, because we both know that you guys like a good party, and that's fun, that's refreshing. Okay, and then for entertainment, were you wanting like a live band or like maybe even like one of your friends to perform? I think okay, that would be really exciting. So you have live performances lined up. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, Lana is going to be. That is so cool. Okay. I feel so special that I know this. That is so exciting. Oh my god. Why am I blushing? And I'm glad that you're okay with me kind of fangirling, because let's be real, there's not many people left in the world that are not a fan of yours. So to find a wedding planner that's completely like doesn't care about you or what you do is kind of impossible. So I'm glad I can just say, like, I'm excited about this day. And that's gonna be really fun. Okay, so performances from some of your friends. Lana Del Rey. Okay, Selena will be there. Okay. Oh my god, that's gonna be great. Alright. And then Florence. That's gonna be beautiful. Okay. The music alone is gonna be awesome. Okay. Now, you can totally nix this idea, but okay. How are you thinking of like setting up the tables for the reception? I'll tell you the idea that you might want to like disregard, but I guess this will be kind of dependent on how we, or which reception venue we choose. But were you wanting to like, so some brides, they like will put like numbers for each table, and then they'll assign their guests to certain tables, and it's just like the tables are numbered. Would you want to name your tables after your different eras? Is that something? Okay, I am glad that you like that idea. Okay, I thought that would be really fun and very cute. And I'm glad you guys are not, like, of course it's your wedding, but I'm glad you guys are willing to have fun with this day. I feel like weddings have turned into like these mega like performances almost, and they're not fun anymore. They're just, yeah, exactly. Yes, you feel me. Okay, so naming the tables after the eras, and though these are like kind of frivolous details, but I think it's good we just like run through some of the topics from each of the like general areas, and then Taylor, you and I can go through and fine-tune each section and really get down to the nitty-gritty. Yes, once we meet in person, of course, and then like in more extensive, longer meetings. But I kind of wanted to use this to like give Travis an idea of where you and I are going with things, so he can get like, yes, exactly. Okay, so food, drinks, cocktail hour. Were you thinking yes to a cocktail hour? Did you want to do that? Yeah, I think it's good, especially if you are thinking of like outfit changes, so that you guys can have like a little bit of a breather before like the party really starts. I always suggest to brides and grooms that yes, with the cocktail hour. I don't think you really realize until you're in the day and you're fully like submerged how, like, obviously it's your wedding day, but like how all consuming everything is. And having that, like, honestly, it goes by like that, the cocktail hour, and even the whole wedding day, but like having that time to really like take a breather is nice, even if it's fast. So yes, we will do the cocktail hour. Okay, and then I think the cocktails hour and the cocktails themselves is where you can really play around and have some fun. I know you guys are drinkers, and we can really get in there when it comes to like naming some drinks. And I know, again, this is just like a semantic detail, but all too well old-fashioned, yes. What about the 87? I think that's really cool, really sexy. I'm thinking like, yeah, like something on the rocks, definitely. And then of course we need, yes, how did you know? We share the same brain, like the lavender haze spritz for sure. Okay. And then dinner. Travis, I'm gonna jump to you. What were you thinking for food? Okay. Okay, that sounds really good, I'm not gonna lie. And then Taylor, for desserts, I know that. Okay, yes, a chocolate cake. And sorry, just got an email about something that just went down with one of our vendors. Let me check on that really fast. Okay, and then I know you told me this on like one of our first calls, but chai sugar cookies are like a non-negotiable for you. And then Travis, I know you said you wanted like some sort of like miniature pie or like a mini cobbler. That sounds really good. But okay, yes, I've got that down. And then okay, dresses. And maybe we'll save this for you and I, but let's talk guest dress code. What were you thinking? Okay. So like romantic chic. Okay, perfect. Yeah, and I love that. Okay, so like you want to make sure the guests know that there is like a vision, but there's still space to obviously express themselves however they want to. Yeah. And we need to, I guess I should have asked you this a little bit ago when it came to the guest list and like how many people you were expecting, but kids, yes or no on kids? Yes, that's a yes. Okay, cool. Okay, this is gonna be a really fun day. Okay. And then I will connect with the both of you to just send me a list when you have it finalized of your bridal parties. Your bridal party, your best man, your best woman, maid of honor, I'm sorry. And then like your bridesmaids, if you're having them, your groomsmen, if you're having them, how many. And then like I always recommend, if you're gonna have them, for either of you, that the numbers be equal. Yes. Okay, cool. And then these are just like kind of things that I thought would be cute. Okay, so handwritten notes I thought would be really fun from the both of you to the guests, like at their seats. I thought that would be great. And then like kind of like a speakeasy vibe, but a secret photo booth. How do you feel about that? And then you could have like props in there from like your eras or your guys' relationship, like the time throughout, like little pieces of memorabilia, I guess. Yeah. Okay, and then I was also thinking, how do you feel about like a late night snack? A lot of brides or couples, I guess, they decide to do that. I've seen like McDonald's food trucks or In-N-Out food trucks, or like milk and cookies for the guests as they leave. What else have I seen? I think for you guys, what could be really fun is like Kansas City barbecue after the reception, whether we get like a truck or a caterer. Yeah, because you said you want like a dance party vibe, so I imagine this is something that's going to go on into the night. So much after the food is like the actual dinner is done, people are going to be hungry, right? So that could be really cute and like a little nod to you, Travis. Honestly, the both of you, because I know that you guys are both foodies. Yes, I love that. I think that would be really awesome, incorporating your cats, Taylor. Okay, and would you want to just incorporate them in terms of like little mementos, or like actually have them? Okay, so you want them there in some way. Yeah, and we can totally discuss how that would look, what that could be like. Awesome. Okay, yes. Okay, so I'm going to jump off this call because I have another call with another client, another couple. But Taylor, I am so excited, and Travis, it was so good to finally chat with you. And I hope that you're excited with how she and I are going about this day. And I really want more of your input for this. I think it's going to be such a magical day, and we need to solidify those venues. So yeah, Taylor, if you have them, Travis, if you have some ideas, just email them to me, and then I will get on contacting them, setting up tours, visits, whatever. And then once we do that, we will pick our favorite and book the day. I think it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so magical. Yes, it was so good to chat with you guys.